Mixed numbers. How to put them on a number line. What are they? Numbers consisting of an integer and a proper fraction. Why? So the recipe for chocolate chip cookies is accurate. Interesting fact. Grasshoppers are often colored in a way that camouflages them in their local habitat. Green ones in grassy fields, sandy colored in dirt and desert areas. So let's take a look on how to put mixed numbers on the number line. So let's take a look on the steps. Step 1, label the whole numbers. Step 2, label the tick marks in between. So in order to do that, let's read the question. Which mixed numbers or fractions represent the arrows? So before we do that, let's just focus on the number line and putting the mixed numbers on there. And if you take a look on the left, you have 0. If you take a look on the right, you have 3. So that means we're missing 2 whole numbers, 1 and 2. Now the question is, where do we put them? So now we need to look on the number line and find 2 tick marks that are a little bolder and a little taller, and that is where we put them. 1 on the left, 2 on the right. Now we're going to go ahead and put numbers on the rest of the tick marks. Now what numbers do we put and how do we do that? Well, we need to figure out how many sections are in between each whole number. So between each whole number, as you can see now, there are 4 sections. So on this number line, we're going to go by fourths. And if you start at 0, it goes 0, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, and so on and so forth. And remember that 4/4 is just 1. Now we can go ahead and get started, but wait a second. We need to simplify our number line. Why? Because the majority of the time you will see your number line in a simplified form. So 2/4 is the same thing as 1/2. 1 and 2/4 is the same thing as 1 and 1/2. 2 and 2/4 is the same thing as 2 and 1/2. Now you may be wondering why. Well, if you take a look at the circle on the left, it is divided into 4 equal sections, and 2 are shaded, which is the same thing as a circle divided into 2 sections with 1 being shaded. Okay, that is a visualization on how and why it works. So if you want to do it mathematically, you can divide the numerator and then the denominator by 2. So 2 divided by 2, 4 divided by 2 to get 1/2. And now let's go ahead, add back the questions, and now we can just straightforward add the answers, and A is equal to 1/4, B is equal to 1 1/4, C is equal to 2 1/4, and D is equal to 2 3/4. Now let's take a look at example 2. Let's read the question. Which mixed numbers or fractions represent the arrows? Same question, same process. Let's look at the number line. So we need to add the whole numbers 1 and 2. So we can find the 2 tick marks that are a little taller and a little bolder, and therefore we can add 1 and 2. Now the next step, figure out how many sections are in between each whole number, and there we go. We have 5 sections. Since we have 5 sections, we are counting by fifths. Okay, so therefore we start at 0 and add a fifth each time. So 0, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5, and so forth and so on. And remember, 5/5 is the same thing as 1. Now we can go ahead and add the questions back. This time we don't have to simplify because there's nothing to simplify. So now we can go ahead and write down the answers. A is equal to 2/5, B is equal to 1 1/5, C is equal to 1 4/5, and D is equal to 2 3/5. Now let's take a look at one more number line. Okay, let's read the question. Which mixed numbers or fractions represent the arrows? So same question, same process. Let's just focus on the number line. You have 0 on the left, 3 on the right, so we need to add 1 and 2. And let's look for the tick marks that are taller and bolder, and therefore we have 1 and 2 right where they are. Now we need to figure out how many sections are in between each whole number, and in this case, we have 6 sections or 6 spaces. So therefore, each tick mark will be counting by 6, or 1/6. So let's go ahead and add that. And now we can start counting at 0 and count by 6. So 0, 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 6, 6 6, and so on and so forth. And 6 6 is the same as 1. Now we can go ahead and add our number line. But wait, we need to simplify some of these fractions because they can be simplified. So if you take a look at 2 6, which is here, it became 1/3, and every 3 6 became 1/2, and every 4/6 became 2/3. So 1 and 2/6 became 1 and 1/3, 1 and 3/6 became 1 and 1/2, 1 and 4/6 became 1 and 2/3, and 2 and 2/6 became 2 and 1/3, 2 and 3/6 became 2 and 1/2, and 2 and 4/6 became 2 and 2/3. Now you may be wondering why. Well, let's take a look at the 2/3 and why did it become 1/3. Well, if you take a look at the circle on the left, it was divided into 6 equal sections and 2 were shaded. So if we divide the circle like it is on the right into 3 equal sections, that is the same as having one shaded part. Now let's take a look at the circles in the middle. So we had 3 sections shaded of 6 equal sections in one circle, which looks like, and it is the same as having a circle divided into 2 sections and 1 being shaded. Now if we take a look on the right, we have 6 sections and equal sections on the left, and 4 of them were shaded, which is the same thing as a circle divided into 3 equal sections with 2 being shaded. Now let's go ahead and put the questions back on. And now we can go ahead and say the answers. A is equal to 1/3, B is equal to 1 and 1/6, C is equal to 1 and 5/6, and D is equal to 2 and 2/3. Okay? So now let's take a look. Oh, it's your turn, so go ahead and pause the video and take your time to answer these questions. I will show the answers in 3, 2, and 1. Here are the answers. If you got them correct, well done. If you didn't, there's always tomorrow.